Hello, guys. Welcome to another session. So recently, India's External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, made a historic statement in Parliament about India-Israel relations. His response was not just about addressing questions from the MPs, but also a reaffirmation of India's strategic partnerships. So, see, we live in a world where geopolitics is constantly evolving. So, in this context, the statement holds significant importance, especially against the backdrop of, the ongoing tensions in the Middle East. So let's look at the context. See, during a session in Parliament, the question was raised about India's position on Israel's actions in Gaza and also the reported export of Indian weapons to Israel. So this inquiry actually came despite, during the time there was a growing global criticisms of Israel's military actions and demands for arms export bans from nations like Spain and Canada. So MPs wanted clarity on whether India's policies align with humanitarian values or are driven solely by the national interest. So Mr. Jaishankar actually responded, or his response was in fact historic and in fact unequivocal. So he stated that India's decisions, including arms exports, are guided by its national security interest and commitments under international frameworks like the Wassenaar Arrangement. He also highlighted Israel's unwavering support for India during the critical moments, and he emphasized that Israel stood by India when its national security was under threat. And this acknowledgement of Israel's role in India's defense history, marks a significant shift in the public diplomacy. So, see, India and Israel share a very good relation, which is rooted in defense, technology, and also intelligence collaboration. And over the years, Israel has emerged as a reliable partner, providing India with cutting-edge defense system during crises like Kargil War. So, Mr. Jaishankar's statements underscore the importance of this partnership, and again, asserting that decisions will prioritize India's long-term security and the strategic interest. So, if you look at the global criticism and India's stance, see, several Western nations have halted arms export to Israel, but India has taken a different path. By continuing its defense cooperation, India signals its commitment to strategic autonomy. And Mr. Jaishankar's statement also reflect India's confidence in navigating the complex global issues without, succumbing to any kind of external pressures, even when faced with criticism from the Middle Eastern nations, though we again depend on Middle Eastern nations, of course. So, see, here the question is balancing national interest with ethical consideration, which again remains a bigger challenge. So, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, with the rising death toll, has drawn widespread condemnation, including from the UN. And critics argue that India, as a global leader, should adopt a more humanitarian approach in this case. But Jaishankar's stance again aligns with the realist principles of international relations. There are no permanent friends or enemies, or you know in fact only there are permanent interest, that is the national interest. So see, again, India's open stance on Israel actually reflect its growing influence on the global stage. Unlike in the past, where India often avoided taking such kind of clear positions, today it boldly asserts its policies and stands very clearly. So this evolution, in fact, signify India's readiness to prioritize its interest at the same time managing diplomatic fallout effectively. So the decision to support Israel, despite global criticism, showcases India's strategic depth and the diplomatic maturity. Now, what the implication of India's policy? See, Mr. Jaishankar's statement has sparked discussions globally, particularly in the Middle East. See, some nations may disapprove, but disapprove India's approach, but still, you can see, the approach is clearly rooted in pragmatism. This is completely rooted in the national interest. So, what is the priority here? Priority here is the national interest, according to him, and in fact, that's the case. So, by maintaining strong ties with Israel, India secures access to advanced defense technology and strengthens its global partnership. And we all know how advanced technology that Israel's have. So if there is a technology sharing and everything, then we are going to benefit out of it. So simultaneously, India continues to engage with other Middle Eastern nations also, and again balancing relationship to protect its broader interest. So ultimately, what matters here? It is the national interest what matters. So guys, if you look at it, India's reaffirmation of its ties with Israel, despite all these tensions and criticism, actually shows or articulate through Jaishankar's statement, right? And it marks defining moment in its foreign policy. And it shows that shift also. It shows that, strength also. It shows that clarity also. And again, it clearly signals a shift towards more assertive and interest-driven approach in global diplomacy. So, as India navigates this complex geopolitical landscape, it must balance national security, also ethical consideration, and the international expectations as well. So, what do you think about this? Should India prioritize its national interest or adopt a more humanitarian approach like what others say? So, share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, guys. In case if you're looking for any mentorship program for civil services, sociology optional or interview mentorship, you can get in touch with us. The details are given in the description. Kindly go through that. So, see you guys in the next session. Thank you so much.